Hello, this is Blue Star, Defender of Equestria, and this is my next analysis slash reaction of the Equestria Girls trailers 1 and 2. I was going to do an in-depth analysis of just the first one, but then I heard there was a second one, so I'm going to sort of combine the two together. So, let's just get started with this. I guess if you hear that clicking noise, it just means that I'm cycling. I'm looking at my screenshots and using them as sort of an improv sort of note thing. So if you hear that clicking noise a lot, it just means I'm cycling through my images. So anyway, let's start off with, so I'm going to sort of talk about both trailers at the same time as though they were sort of one thing. Again, I've already, in my last video, already commented on how the two trailers are different, but in short, the first trailer was a true trailer. That basically, it was really there to get you interested and excited, but sadly had the opposite effect and made people anxious and fearful and scared and suicidal depression for some people. Okay, not quite as bad as that. Because, yeah, people didn't really like this idea of humanized ponies and all this stuff, and there was no... It had a nice song in it, but it really didn't tell us anything about the story, and that had a lot of people worried. The second trailer was a lot better, although it was longer, but it was much more slower paced, and it ultimately told us a lot more about the story. You could figure out a lot of the things that we figured out from the first trailer in the second trailer, but it was a lot harder to do in the first trailer because it was so fast-paced, it was so quickly and everything. So anyway, I think I'm gonna probably compare the two probably during this, but I don't know. This video might actually be quite long because I actually found a lot of interesting things to look at from both of these trailers. So, oh dear, get comfortable. It could be a bumpy ride. So anyway, I'm gonna start off with this. Dang it, I did it wrong. This image from the second trailer, and that interestingly, I find this interesting in that, obviously, again, this proves that this happens after Season 3, Twilight's an alicorn, and all that stuff, and she's a princess and everything. The main six are there, and they're in the Crystal Empire. And that guy, there's who is this guy? And second, there's a bit of a mistake, it appears to be. He appears to be a Pegasus, but he's wearing the unicorn armor. And technically there's a physical mistake there, because in theory the unicorn armor doesn't allow for his wings to go through the armor, but we'll let that go, I guess. But the ever interesting thing about this guy, whoever this guy is that he's apparently one of the Celestial Royal Guards, if that's what you want to call them. And that's the other thing, we got to see the Crystal Royal Guards, which is cool. But why is the Celestial Royal Guard here? He seems to be in charge. And the other interesting thing is that he's not one of the usual colors that we see. Okay, that's interesting for me because in my own story, Blue Star, they basically have to, if you're not one of those colors, they dye your coat, either white, brown, or blue, or whatever the color is. So I'm going to leave that there. So that's interesting for me, but I'm going to stop there. So now we're going to move on to the next image. Oh no, oh dear, this is Sunset Shimmer. I can't say that for some reason, so I'm just going to refer to her as the evil nemesis person. Or in this case, the evil nemesis pony. Again, I was really shocked to learn that she's a pony. I didn't expect that. I honestly thought that the evil nemesis person that we saw in the first trailer was basically... that she was basically a person from this alternate universe and didn't know anything about Twilight. I must admit, I expected her to, when she, that Twilight, during the big battle at what appears to be the close to the end of this movie, that when they're throwing around the element of harmony, the crown, I'll just call it the crown from now on, because that's what I think they're probably going to refer to it as, that when they're throwing the crown around, that, Twilight's probably going to say to her, don't put on the crown, and she's going to put on the crown, and then all of a sudden she's going to get transported to Equestria in shock. But all of that is not true. No. This is part of a much larger plot or something like that, and she is at the beginning of it. She's at the, she is at the beginning of it. I'm sorry, I'm pointing at my screen. It's I'm looking at it there, it's going to be up there, but anyway, enough of that. So anyway, yeah, she's quite evil. The thing I like about, the thing that's sneaky about this is that, unfortunately, the thing that I liked about that scene is that she defeats Twilight with the teleportation spell the same way that she defeated Nightmare, quote-unquote, defeated Nightmare Moon with. It's ooh. Again, I think that the evil nemesis person is, She's basically Twilight's equal. Perhaps not in magical power, but she's basically Twilight's equal, but she's evil. So yeah, there's going to be some interesting possibilities there. And of course, this is the shot of, I must admit, I couldn't help but take a shot of the mirror room. Because we didn't really get to, I was hoping that there would be something cool in here, and I don't think there is. I mean, there's some interesting things. I mean, there's like this photo on the wall, but of like a pony, but I don't think there's anything of substantial interest in this room. The only interesting thing is that I see is that the main six are coming to Twilight's aid, which I must admit I find this a little unusual. What happened to the Royal Guard? Wouldn't this be her? Wouldn't this be their job? That I must admit, this is sort of no. I'm not going to go there. I was going to mention this is Bluestar's job, and he was going to be his sort of a shadow guard, that he was going to be like off to the side and like protecting Twilight and stuff. But I'm not going to go there. But yeah, this is the wouldn't this be the job of the Royal Guard to at least sit outside her bedroom or something like that, making sure someone doesn't break into her room and do something like steal her crown? Oh well. So anyway, sort of interesting, but nothing. But yeah, I'm glad that the main six are clearly nearby and are coming to help Twilight. But sadly, as we see in this shot, not soon enough, that the element of harmony got flung into the mirror, and now she's there, and ooh, she's definitely very, very evil. Ooh, she definitely looks evil, and must have been. Twilight's head is like turned completely 180 degrees around. Ouch. Oh, Twilight's very unhappy. I can't blame her. Poor girl. So, ooh. And again, this was a difference between, and this next shot is the difference between the first trailer and the second trailer, is that the first trailer was really more about a grand adventure, or, ooh, this is kind of cool, and now, no, this is much more serious. I mean, this is like, do you understand the importance of your mission, Twilight? And everyone in this shot is serious and stuff and everything, because, But again, this raises an interesting question. Why does Twilight have to go by herself? Why can't they all go? It's a good question. Why can't they all go? There's probably some sort of rule that only so many people in so many time can walk through the mirror or something like that. I mean, again, how is she going to get back? I always assume that she's going to put on the element of harmony and she's going to somehow get back to Equestria somehow, or like something like that. I don't know. I mean, for the first trailer, we learned that Celestia actually appears to know something about this alternate universe, that maybe she's been there or she knows something about it. But, again, there's a lot of interesting questions that could be asked here, and sadly, again, as usual, we don't have any information, so it's difficult to answer them. But yeah, there's one thing that I must admit I did take from the brief few minutes that I saw AMY Pony's video, that there seems to be a time paradox thing here. Not a time paradox, but there's a time difference here. Like, for instance, we see later in a shot like this that it appears that the evil Nemesis person has been here for a while, a lot longer than in theory she should have. I mean, in theory, the two events of her escaping through the mirror and then Twilight walking through the mirror, in theory should be only a few hours apart, but it appears at a much greater length of time as transpired by that. And maybe it's one of these things of like, kind of like in Digimon, where like 1 minute in the real world equals like 1 day in the digital world and stuff like that. So maybe there's something like that going on. But anyway, so in this shot again, in this screenshot again, this is basically Twilight, and everybody's serious. I mean, you get the much, this is serious and stuff like that. Poor Twilight passing through the portal. Poor Twilight passing through the portal. The interesting thing with this shot before was that I was going to mention that Spike is actually in the corner of this particular screenshot, but it's pretty obvious by this trailer that Spike is clearly, this is the real Spike. This isn't like alternate parallel universe Spike in the form of a dog. This is actual Ponyville Spike in dog form. I guess dragons don't exist in the alternate universe. So anyway, this shot, I must admit, again, I was going to mention that people who are panicking over this love interest, don't panic. This is clearly shining armor. You can see the shield on his chest and everything. So don't worry, kiddies. This is most likely shining armor. So, but there's something very interesting that I noticed in one of these images, which I'm going to just click through here. Oh, yeah, for one thing, in this screenshot, notice the statue that's in the background in the library. that this is meant to be the library. This is meant to be the Canterlot. This is meant to be Ponyville's library. So this, I mean, I'm going to say this is that where is Twilight going to stay? It appears that this is a parallel universe, but at the same time, Twilight technically does not exist in this universe, so she technically doesn't exist here. She doesn't have a place to go. Sadly, like a real brony that we know. But fortunately, that appears to have worked out. So anyway, Why am I doing this? I know the screenshot I'm talking about anyway. This screenshot, it's like, you can see the Twilight's sleep. I mean, at first I saw this. Wait a minute. Twilight's sleeping on books. Why is she doing that? Because she's in the library. I have a feeling that Twilight doesn't have anywhere to go. She can't go visit her parents because they probably technically don't exist in this alternate universe. Perhaps they do. Or maybe Twilight is off in Sweden or something. Switzerland, I think. Yeah, the Back to the Future reference. That Back to the Future and the alternate 1985. The real version of Marty McFly is in a boarding school in Switzerland somewhere, so that's why we don't run into him or anything like that. So maybe something similar to that is happening. But yeah, it's that Twilight doesn't have anywhere to go, so she somehow moves into the library, and nobody notices that there's a student sleeping in the library. Is what I think about this. Looking at this shot that I'm looking at right now, that I think that. A few things I think I figured out about this school. For starters, I have to say, Fluttershy's a cheerleader. Why does that just not work for me? Why does that not seem to be appropriate and work for me? I don't like that. But yes, I thought it was kind of odd that the horseshoe it's not upside down. It's not like this. It's not like this. It's like this. Then I listened to the song Canterlot Wonderbolts. The name of the school is most likely Canterlot. Or something like that. The Canterlot Academy or something like that. And that's why it's like that. It's in the shape of a C. That's cool. The Wonderbolts, and you notice that they're in the Wonderbolt costumes, that blue and that pale yellow. And they have ears. So yeah, there's two things. That there's clearly a school theme here. In fact, in this shot with all these students, you can see in the background that there's sort of you know what? I'm just going to close my computer and not use these images anymore because they're actually not helping me. They're actually kind of... And not to mention, so now it's no longer reflecting in my eyes. So yeah, so in that shot, basically, we see that we can see that here, that basically there's clearly a horse theme going on here. Interesting. I mean, I'm thinking that I'm going to change my mind. I think I want my images back now. Oh, damn it. I'm not doing very... Oh, dang it. Oh. I'm going to try not to curse on the off chance you have your kids watching or anything like that. I disagree with DigiBrony on that. It's like, anyway. Well, I guess... But yeah, I mean, it's interesting that the school is... There's actually a couple interesting things I've looked at through all these things. Is that, for starters, one thing I noticed, I randomly got, I think... Come on, where is it? Oh, actually, I want to talk about this image first. This image, like this is first of all, this is interesting. This is an interesting image that I found. I mean, this was like a big revelation to me when I first found this image when I was making my previous video. Is that look at how different these two pictures are. For starters, obviously she's a lot. Obviously, she's changed quite a bit. The first picture, she's kind of, I must admit, vacant, but clearly not evil. She seems to be okay. She seems to be, regular girl. The next image, the one that's on the right, is evil. I mean, even look at her. She's pointing at herself. Whoa. This means that there's some interesting possibilities. I mean, at first when I saw this, I figured, oh, maybe she's not evil. Maybe the person on the left was, she was good, and then something happened between these two times, and she became evil. But we know that this person is evil. We know she's evil. We just don't know why. So, again, there is a possibility that maybe that the person on the left is the alternate version of of the evil nemesis person, and the evil nemesis person from Ponyville or Pony Equestria comes and replaces her somehow, and I don't think that's true. That'd be getting weird and complicated. That means that the good person is tied up somewhere, I guess. But no, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to interpret this anymore. I must admit, it doesn't make sense for her to be good in this picture but evil in this one. If these people are the same people, if this person got here and let's say has spent, apparently I'm going to say 2 years here. No, because we're going to assume that maybe she's obviously in 2 of these pictures, and this competition obviously takes every once a year, so she has to be there, at least in theory, at least 2 years. Well, why is she evil? why? I mean, she should. I mean, why? No, excuse me. Why is she not evil? She should be evil in both these pictures, but clearly there's a difference here, and I don't know what the difference is. Dear, oh dear. And in this picture, which I managed to grab by accident, it's like I noticed that, oh look, she's in this picture. What's going on? She's got a sledgehammer. And Snips and Snails are there. And they're also younger than they are. They're younger than they are in this picture. Again, this is sort of relates to my first video when I thought, why don't they just steal it? There's now two powers basically trying to get the element of harmony back. Obviously, the evil nemesis person in Twilight. So, obviously, the element of harmony basically fell through the mirror, and it appears that someone at this high school or academy or whatever you want to call it basically picked it up, and again, that second picture really throws this off. If that were true, if she won this competition, why doesn't she have the element of harmony in either of these pictures? I must admit, this is hard. This is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Normally, I can do things off the cuff like this, but unfortunately, no, it's not working out for me this time, because this is hard. This is complicated. Again, there may be something more going on. Maybe someone found this thing and didn't decide to give it as a prize maybe they've only decided to do it now. Maybe they had these, it's clear, the other thing in this picture is that we see that the crowns are different in both years, so maybe I don't know, maybe it's like, well, we couldn't find a crown to give them this year, but we found this thing that we have this thing that we found 2 years ago. Let's give her that. I have to admit, that seems very odd to me. I mean, it seems to be obvious that the elements of the crown, the elements of harmony they're probably made of real gold and gems and stuff, and if besides the fact that it's a very powerful magical thing, would probably be worth it would be pretty obvious to someone that this is not a toy or something. This is a genuine piece of jewelry that's probably worth quite a lot of money. So why you would just give it to some teenager as a prize for a princess competition, I frankly don't know. Seems stupid to me. It'd be like finding a diamond necklace on the ground and then giving it as a prize at a prom or something like that. That seems kind of dumb to me, but anyway. But yeah, what I think that she's doing in this picture is she's attempting to break into the school and then get the element of harmony back, but for some reason she's unable to. Perhaps it's because it's this box. Maybe it's triple armored and bulletproof or something, I don't know. But there's obviously some reason why Twilight can't just simply take it. Because again, I know that it's not really the pony way to steal things. It technically wouldn't be stealing, it's theirs to begin with. And again, Cadence puts this beautifully. This is, without this, Equestria is basically doesn't have one of their most important defenses, so it's important to get this back. So even if she did have to break into, if the only way were to break into the high school and take it, that's what Twilight would do. But there's some reason that Twilight cannot do this or will not do this, and it's probably both. It's probably a thing of can't and won't. It's a combination of those two. Anyway. Alright, I'm just going to click through my images real quick and see where I left off. Yes, another thing is we got to see a little bit more of Twilight in these pictures here of Twilight coming to grips with the fact that she's not a pony anymore and that she's human and that she has to learn how to do this, and that she tries to basically walk like a pony and learns pretty quickly that, oops, no, this isn't the way I'm supposed to do this. And again, back to this thing with the library. I mean, It's interesting. I mean, it's interesting that it appears that the school might be a mixture of Ponyville and Canterlot and all that stuff and everything. There's certainly a lot of different ponies. Like in this shot, here's some really good. I really like this picture of a lot of all the students, and it shows us a lot of different things. Like for example, their cutie marks. They have cutie marks. Whether they're going to call them that or not is interesting. I mean, that'd be interesting. How would they do that? How would they get them? Because they're not. It appears that they're not simply part of. They don't just simply get. They're not. They're not. The interesting thing with the cutie mark in the ponies' case is that it just happens once they learn who and what they are and stuff like that. It basically appears. It's not like, It's like, I'm Defender of Equestria. What does that mean? What would the symbol be for that? How would I draw that? That's. But anyway. It's interesting that they have cutie marks and they're also in different positions as well. They're not all on. They're like some of them are here, some of them are here, some of them are on their sides and stuff like that. And and it's interesting. I mean, some interesting questions about race. Like some of these characters clearly have white, white skin tones, and others do not. And some interesting and difficult questions there. But fortunately, I think they've probably done a good job on that. I don't know. It's like Twilight coming to realization that, oh no, it's like, what do I have to do? This is a good picture here. It's like, this was again, I was completely thrown by when we all discovered that the evil nemesis person is actually a pony to begin with. So in this moment, Twilight and the evil nemesis person actually know each other. It's like, she says, "You're new here," which I have a feeling means, where have you been all this time, Twilight? I've been here for 2 years. What took you so long? That she's been, in a way, waiting for Twilight to come, in a way. And you must be new here. You must not have figured this place out yet. You're still walking into doors and walking on all fours and stuff like that. I must admit, her cutie mark is very interesting. It's very interesting. It's clearly not a super evil cutie mark. It's actually interesting. It resembles a little bit more of, like, it has the yin yang sign in the middle surrounded by these two flames, and that's interesting. Again, their names are almost opposite. Twilight Sparkle and Sunshine and Sunset Shimmer. Twilight, I believe, is in the morning. Sunset is obviously at sunset and at the end of the day. So and even their colors are different. She's kind of like a darker color. She's very bright colors. So I must admit, I think I heard this theory from somebody else that basically, or read somewhere that basically that she's the opposite to Twilight. So I must admit, I have to give that credit to somebody else. But it still seems pretty obvious that they're clearly opposites, but at the same time maybe equals. Again, I don't think if this were a magic jewel that Twilight would probably win. But of course, that's been taken out of the equation because neither of them can do magic. Again, one thing I noted during the brief little skirmish that Twilight had with the evil nemesis person in Equestria was that, notice her color on her horn. It's the exact same color as the big beam thing that we see. So interesting. I mean, it's a very odd color for her. You'd think it'd be red or orange or yellow or something like that. What could that mean? Maybe there's something evil or darker going on. I remember in Sweet and Elite that one of the Royal Guard, actually his horn color was green. This could mean one of two things. Either that, his horn color was just green, or maybe he was a changeling. A little off topic, but still interesting. And maybe something similar, that maybe she's not a changeling, but maybe she's secretly evil. Maybe she's been in disguise all this time or something like that. And I don't know. Maybe it reflects her true personality, that she's evil or cold or something on the inside. I don't know. But anyway, she's definitely evil. She definitely is evil and the nemesis and stuff. And again, poor Snips and Snails. They always seem to be attracted by the evil people. Because in this picture again, interesting that they're both young and they're both wearing magic hats. I think there's something significant in that. I don't know what. And again, they're attempting to break into the school. What is she looking at anyway? What is she looking at? Okay, so now we're gonna move beyond those things and moving on to some interesting things. It's like, for starters, I think that interesting. It appears that the main six are going to have some of the parallel main six are going to have some of their abilities, but just in a different way. Like in this shot, Rainbow Dash has kicked a ball into orbit. It's gone. It's just gone. It's gone. And why is Twilight laying on the ground like she's been knocked unconscious or something? And if she has, why is no one going to help her? But yeah, the other thing is like Applejack in this shot has a lasso, and she obviously we're gonna assume she can use it. And Rainbow Dash can that was an awesome move. She like flips over and grabs this thing and then throws it and stuff, and it's cool. And interesting in this picture, which I didn't expect to find, Applejack's drinking beer. No, I'm sure it's apple cider. But also, Pinkie Pie is off to the side of the screen, kind of like this, kind of like, breaking the laws of physics. So maybe the main six are going to have some of their abilities. They're just not going to be able to do it with magic and stuff. So maybe Pinkie Pie will still be able to break the laws of physics, even though in theory she can't. I guess in theory she shouldn't be able to break the laws of physics to begin with, but whatever. Yeah, I must say I don't really like the main six's outfits, to be honest. Their waists are way too high. They're way too high. They're up to like here, and sometimes it feels like so you can't see, but it's way too high. Unfortunately, I don't like their outfits. Their outfits just, I must admit, the main six still look weird and creepy and stuff. I mean, even after seeing all these pictures, like in this shot of the schoolroom, it's like I must admit, it's like I forgot her name. Oh darn, I forgot. Whatever. It's like she's a lot younger than she should be. She's a lot younger in this shot. The person with the goggles, whatever the picture, I forget her name, whatever the crazy photographer lady. You have the magics and stuff like that. I remember Cutie Mark Crusaders. There's a pretty neat stuff in here. But again, I don't really like their outfits. Their outfits are simply too high. They need to be a lot lower than that. It's like, put some clothes. I was going to say, put some clothes on, woman. No, they have clothes. They're just not. They're just not appropriate, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, in this shot, they're wearing silly Wonderbolt ears, I guess. But this is my first good shot of Rainbow Dash. She looks weird. I mean, the main six just look weird. I don't think I'd like. I mean, some of it works okay. Like Applejack works okay. Pinkie Pie almost works. Rainbow Dash just looks weird. And again, cheerleaders. Oh no, they've turned the Wonderbolts to the cheerleaders. Bummer. So I guess the real Wonderbolts are not here. Well, in theory, the Wonderbolts are in theory actually much older than the main six to begin with. So in theory, they shouldn't be in this school at all. They should be in college, I guess, or something like that. But then again, Shining Armor, he's in theory way older than them. In theory, he shouldn't be in this academy or school or whatever. But again, we don't know the rules of this academy. Maybe it goes from, again, basically all the major characters are here. So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I must admit, I don't think this. I must admit, it's sort of in a way fitting for the Wonderbolts because they're a play off the Blue Angels, slash Thunderbolts. So, which, I mean, their job really is as a demonstration squadron. They're basically, quote unquote, the mascots of the U.S. Navy Air Force in a way. They're really a recruitment tool and stuff like that. I love them. They're awesome. They're cool. The level of precision and teamwork that it takes to do the things that they do is absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, they're awesome. And again, if you get the opportunity to actually see them perform live in person with your own two eyeballs, go do it. It's awesome. Just be warned, sometimes their planes are very, very loud. They will probably be the loudest thing you will ever hear. So just be warned. But still awesome. But yeah, I mean, this shot is actually interesting in that we get to see some other characters. I must admit, the girl on the right, she looks like a fish. With those lips, she looks like a fish, to be honest to me. But yeah, I mean, there's it's just interesting to see all these different characters and everything. It's cool. Again, Fluttershy's a cheerleader. I don't think that would work. She's too shy to be a cheerleader. But I think what's happening with all these cheerleader moments is that, obviously, when we hear from the song, is that they're trying to. I really like this song. I mean, after listening to it for a couple dozen times, probably after the course of getting the screenshots, I actually like the song a lot. It evoked a very unusual but yet predictable reaction to me. It's like, charge! And it's like, we won't fight for Twilight. We will defend Twilight! Vote for Twilight! Because obviously they're trying to rally the students of this school to, I guess, vote for Twilight to win this princess competition and stuff like that. And that's really why they're having these cheerleader things and stuff. And I think also explains this shot of, notice that, I mean, they appear to be cleaning up after a big party. But I don't think that's what happened. Notice that this table in the back, it's broken in half. At most parties I go to, tables don't get broken in half. So I have a feeling that what's happened is that the evil nemesis person, or maybe somebody else, probably the evil nemesis person, has broken into the gym or whatever and smashed this party or whatever it was. I'm going to assume this is sort of like a rally or something for Twilight or something like that, and everything's got smashed, and all the main six are coming together to help clean it up and put it all back together again, which is what happens. And this is what explains this picture, that it's like, look girls, we did it, we cleaned it up and everything's good, yes. And I just noticed that there's at least one guy with a mop in the corner helping as well, so all the other students are probably helping as well, so that'd be cool. That's obviously a very central theme of the show, people coming together to overcome difficult problems and stuff like that. That's cool. Yay, high five, yay. Yeah, so, oh, this is another interesting shot with this, is that, at first I thought these were the pony versions in this storybook picture. I thought that there was this connection, that maybe there's this weird connection, like this is the real world and My Little Pony is actually a storybook or something like that, but no, that's not it. If you look closely in this picture, you'll notice that, first of all, Twilight's not in this picture, and second, these are the alternate versions of the main six, and they're also younger. They're much younger. They're more like the Cutie Mark Crusaders ages. Or even younger than that, to be honest. But again, there's some interesting possibilities, but without more information, it's difficult to say. I mean, I think that basically, for instance, does Twilight exist in this alternate universe? Has Twilight have they done like a quantum leap thing where Twilight has replaced the alternate version of Twilight, or has Twilight inserted herself into this universe and there is no Twilight in this universe? Which again means when she goes back to Equestria, is there not going to be a Twilight in this universe? I must admit, I really don't want to spec. I mean, I don't like. I mean, I'd like to think about this as lots of possibilities, but this video is starting to run long already, so I'm not going to go into them. But I think that Twilight does not exist in this universe. I think that she just doesn't, because again, this show is still primarily written for younger people, and they're not going to start messing around with weird alternate time paradox, weird theories and stuff. It's like I have a thing of that, time travel and these kind of things. If you think about them for long enough, they'll make your head explode. So don't think about them too much, kids, if you don't want your head to explode. So yes, they're going to try to keep these kinds of things simple. So this is probably going to be a much simpler explanation. Like, there is no Twilight in this parallel universe. Even though it is a parallel universe, we can clearly see that there's a whole bunch of characters here. And in fact, this shot here, which I took because I must admit I liked, oh look, some of these people are wearing suits. Cool. I looked at this guy's cutie mark and, oh look, it's one of the guys from the Sonic Rainboom, the bullies, or whatever whatever you want to call them. It's the guy with the football cutie mark. Anyway, speaking of which, this shot is prom night, I guess, or something like that, or the big princess rally. I've just noticed that statue in the background that's in several of these shots. I guess that statue's in like the front of it. Gotta say, main six are moving up in the world. They got a limo. Cool for them. Again, I don't really like their outfits. Their outfits are way too high. They also seem to be really tall, to be honest. I don't know. Maybe it's because of I think it's because their outfits are riding up so high. But yeah, I mean, not being a fashion designer, I don't know if I'd let my daughter go out. I don't think I'd let my daughter go out with... If I had a daughter, I don't think I'd let her go out with skirts that low, to be honest. But yeah, they look nice. They're nice, but it's nice to see the main six working together. It's interesting to look at each one of these, but again, I'm not a fashion designer or anything, so I'm going to stop with that. So anyway, again, Applejack with a lasso. Why does she walk around with a lasso? Who goes to school with a lasso? Better yet, who goes to lasso with a dog or a rabbit? I don't know too many schools that allow you to bring those kinds of pets to school, or any pets to school for that matter. But we'll let that go. Again, nice catch, Rainbow Dash. That's cool. Ah, get away. Yay! No! Yes! I must admit, I can't resist doing this. This is a Blue Star moment for me. And I'm going to explain. My character, my OC Blue Star, is a very heroic character. And honestly, I must admit someone that I hopefully hope to be more like and be more heroic and stuff like that. But anyway, the thing is that he's not Master Chief. He's not unaffected by things. He's scared. He's afraid of things. So often he'll be afraid of something at first, but then he'll find the courage to stand and to not give in to whatever it is that's that he has to deal with. And this is what Twilight's doing. Twilight was initially afraid and concerned about this, but now she's gotten all hard and focused and controlled and everything, and she's being back in charge. And this is honestly, I like this photo a lot. I mean, even just look at all the other main six. Look at Spike. Everybody else is worried, but she's determined. She's not giving up. So good for you, Twilight. I like that. I like that a lot, and much more reassuring than the previous image. I mean, that was definitely a mistake to show this image, because first of all, it breaks the idea that this is an alternate parallel universe where there is no magic. We can see that clearly this is, whatever this is clearly something triggered by magic. And again, this is the evil nemesis person's color. This isn't the Elements of Harmony color. This, in theory, should be purple. Oh, I just forgot. I didn't. Anyway, never mind. This in theory should be purple, but it's not. It's her color. Again, what does this mean? In theory, she can't use the Element of Harmony. So what's happening here? I don't know. In theory, she's going back to Equestria, and that basically we lose. And I don't want that. I mean, just last night, I was watching a TV show and I saw a commercial for 3 movies that are just like one was an end of the world with like an alien invasion movie, a zombie apocalypse movie, and I can't even remember what the last one was. Oh yeah, someone taking over the White House. Like, dang it, I don't want to be depressed. I want to see the good guys win. If I want to see that, just turn on any cable news channel. You'll find enough disasters and things to. You like disasters, just watch cable news. You'll see more than you'll have your fill there. So anyway, I'm glad this image of Twilight honestly makes me feel better, and that Twilight is not giving up here, and that's cool. Even though it appears this is perhaps game over, I must admit there's one obvious thing that could be happening here. That it appears that if she really is going back to Equestria, then the princesses, all 3 of them, and the other main 6 are probably waiting for her. So they'll beat her. So they might catch her, beat her up, and take the Element of Harmony off of her, and then come back for Twilight. I don't think that's likely. That's the obvious thing that could happen. But who knows? Maybe there's another mirror. Maybe there's another mirror somewhere else that links to somewhere else, and maybe she can get away that way. I don't know. I mean, there's another question. Why is this mirror? Why do they have a mirror that does this anyway? Again, there's a lot of things that you can go through and look at if you really decided to. But yeah, I must admit there's some pretty neat things. Sorry. I must admit my favorite. I think one of my favorite things is definitely the whole Spike the dog thing. It's like, that was fun. That was definitely fun. It's like, did that dog just talk? Really? A talking dog's the strangest thing you've seen all day? You just saw this person get zapped by this giant beam thing and then fly up into the sky. You're gonna be all upset about a talking dog? That line never gets old. It never gets old for me, to be honest. And this screenshot perhaps might be the most important of all. Besides the fact that it tells you when the movie's going to be out. And again, as I said in my previous one, if you plan on seeing this movie, go see it. Make plans, because it doesn't sound like it's going to be out in the theaters for long. In fact, it only appears it's going to air only once in the theater that on each day and stuff. So you're not going to. It appears you may not have a lot of opportunities to watch this movie. So if you're going to decide to watch it, go watch it. So anyway, the thing that's most interesting about this is the line that says, "The magic of friendship never changes." I have a feeling this line is directed at the bronies who are panicking over the fact that, they're going to break the show, things are going to change. That maybe, this is maybe an indirect way to say, don't worry, we're not breaking the show. We're not going to break the show. It's going to be fine. It's going to be good. And again, I really love that line of, it's like, the friendship is the magic of friendship doesn't just exist in Equestria. It exists everywhere. And that's obviously true. We obviously probably do that already, but it's still a cool, comforting line. Because, obviously not in the way that it does in Equestria, where you can use it to harness the elements of harmony and defeat big, super powerful villains and stuff, but still,
But then again, maybe you can, just not directly. As we're probably going to see from this movie, we're going to see the elements. Maybe we'll see the elements of harmony being harnessed in a different way. Instead of being a true magic that, shoots a giant beam out and reforms people or changes them or alters them physically and mentally or whatever. I'm definitely going to do I'm probably going to do another follow-up video on the elements of harmony and how they work. But anyway, that I think maybe that's the whole point of this movie, that they're going to show us how the magic of friendship can exist and work in our world, where we don't have magic. We don't have the elements of harmony in the form of magic. We have it in what happened with TheoryBrony. Really, think of all these people who came together to help someone. They've never met TheoryBrony. They really don't know anything about TheoryBrony. I mean, to be honest, this is why I must have been a little hesitant to offer him a place to stay. Honestly, I don't know the guy. He seems like a good guy, and he probably is, but I don't know him. I don't know anything about him, and honestly, when I told my parents about it, they didn't seem too keen. I wasn't going to ask them, to be honest, to do that. He's a complete stranger. I'm sure he's a good guy. I like him a lot. He sounds very good, and and obviously I want to support him. I want to help him out. I want him to hopefully, and I hope that he does find a home, and I hope other people. Honestly, I figured there's going to be a much better match for him than my place, and I feel bad about that, but still. Think of all those people who came together and helped someone they don't know. They've never met TheoryBrony. Some of them have never even seen his face. Think about that. People gave money, offered this guy a place to stay, and you know why? The magic of friendship. Because they cared, and that was awesome. So, I think this is what this movie will ultimately be about. And that this movie is going to be about how we as human beings can use the magic of friendship to help other people and be there for each other. And if that's true, this is going to be an awesome movie. That'll be cool. I mean, I love moments where people come together and overcome problems and start to work together. I must admit, the first thought that comes to me was in an anime show called Gundam Wing, where, long story short, I'm just gonna say, if you're not familiar with me, I'm gonna say a fighter pilot squadron thing for people who are unfamiliar with the Gundams. That basically the Gundams are these giant fighting robots, but whatever. This is basically a team of people operating these giant machines, these giant fighting machines and stuff like that. But the thing is, throughout the entire beginning of the series, they've operated entirely. There's 5 of them. First of all, there's 5 of these Gundams. Anyway, and they basically don't work together. They work completely. In fact, there's parts where basically they said, "I can handle this better on my own." And towards the end, for the first time, they all join together and they work as a team. And they actually work as a true team and support each other and fight together as a team rather than individually. Despite the fact that they're all very capable and very powerful, alone they're united we stand, divided we fall. And that's exactly what that particular episode was about. In fact, it was dubbed, Go Forth Gundam Team. This was the first time the Gundams actually, these 5 people actually worked together and fought together, and when they did, they were very effective. In the episode, they start fighting alone, as they usually do, and they're losing. They're clearly losing. They're getting outmatched and stuff like that. But then one of them basically brings them together, and they fight together for the first time, and now they are a serious force, and that was awesome. That was one of my favorite episodes ever, to see these people who were basically loners, who didn't want to work together, finally work together and show that, teamwork is stronger than being alone. I was just listening to Blue Star 1 again, and there was a line in there where Luna says that, remember that togetherness is the ultimate power here, that as long as you have love, community, and friendship, you will prevail against any threat that you face. But when you fight alone, that's where failure comes. No one accomplishes anything here on their own. This is not our way. It never has been. It never will be. That was kind of creepy. I went into Luna mode there, or something. I don't know if that's really Luna's character, but still, it's that's really it. That's why this show is so awesome to me, because that is true. I mean, it's a little depressing when you say no one accomplishes anything on their own, but in a way it's sort of true. But I mean, but look at what everything that the main six can accomplish, working together and being there for each other and everything. And that's the magic of friendship makes all of that possible. Again, like I said in my in my review of the first 2 episodes of My Little Pony, that the main six don't know each other very well, but yet their friendship that they form in this small time is able to defeat Nightmare Moon, one of the most powerful beings in Equestria. They don't have individually or even together, they don't stand a chance of defeating Nightmare Moon, As Nightmare Moon says, "You're kidding, right, Twilight? You think you can take me on? Really? I could squash you like a bug if I decided to." But when they come together, when they discover the magic of friendship and fully unleash it, they were able to defeat Nightmare Moon by unleashing the elements of harmony and everything. So again, I think, yes, I definitely have faith in this movie. I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be good. It's just going to be... I have faith. I definitely think this is going to be good. This is going to be good. They haven't let us down yet, and I don't think they will. Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a lot to look at, a lot of things. Like, I must admit, I was so shocked that the evil nemesis person, Sunset Shimmer, why can I not say her name? Because I'm really shocked about that. I mean, wow, she's a pony. She's a pony. She committed treason. Does this mean that we have to execute her if we capture her? Of course not. They never do that, but that's a good question. What's going to happen to her if you capture her? Because I have a feeling there's definitely a very dark motivation there. There's definitely something dark. Because otherwise, why would you do this? Why would you steal the elements of harmony? I must admit, I think I discussed that enough in my previous video, so I'm not going to go there. But still, I must have been unhappy about that. And again, she appears to be winning at the end of this. But of course... we're gonna. I just had a thought. Well, maybe just as we've seen in the Return of Harmony, the elements of harmony begin to work even though Rainbow Dash isn't there, and then they stop. So maybe that'll happen. Maybe this big beam thing is on for a few seconds, but then all of a sudden it stops. And maybe we're back to I don't know. Obviously, there's going to be a way they're going to get out of this. I really want to see how they get out of this, because I don't want to see Twilight trapped in this alternate universe forever and ever and ever. But yeah, there's a lot of interesting things here. I think this is actually going to be pretty interesting. I mean, certainly open up some interesting things. And certainly, it's interesting to look at something in a different way. This is what, in a way, sci-fi is about. Sci-fi, like Star Trek, for instance. They'll take an idea that, they'll take a normal idea and they'll put it in a sci-fi universe and put an unusual twist on it and stuff like that. And maybe you wouldn't have thought of it in that way. And you look at it and then all of a sudden you look at it and maybe you learn something about it differently. And I think maybe that's what might be the secondary thing is here. That maybe by doing this, they're going to explore what is the difference between Equestria and our world, and how are they the same? How can they interact? What can we learn from each other? I mean, as I said in the previous video, that humans have nothing to teach Equestria, but have everything to learn. So, we'll see maybe if that's true or not. Maybe that's not true. Maybe Twilight might learn something. Maybe she'll learn something about herself, or maybe the main six that perhaps she wouldn't have learned otherwise. But I must admit, I think this is going to be good. I'm definitely looking forward to this now. I mean, I just have to figure out when am I going to go. I must have been a little apprehensive about that because, again, I'm pretty sure just about every Brody in the area is going to be going on the 16th. So that's going to be a bit of an issue, to be honest. So, yeah, I must admit, but still, I'm looking forward to seeing this and going to this and hopefully... I think it's going to be awesome. I must admit, the song, after listening to it a while, definitely makes me feel like rallying. It's a Twilight Zone. It's like, I will protect you, royalty. I will not let Sunset Shimmer win. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. Well, I am Defender of Equestria. What else is new? Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, so I think I've said everything I want to say for now. If I think of anything else to say, I think I'll make a separate video. I mean, this video is running really long, but I must admit I enjoyed this. I mean, this was cool going through and looking at each one. I must admit I probably could have gone on Equestria Daily and probably found out half the things that I did. In fact, you might know more about this than I do, but I must admit I'm trying to in a way, keep myself in the dark on those things. I want to figure out things for myself and everything like that. So anyway, I hope you might have enjoyed this and enjoyed my I must have been almost hour rambling on. I mean, I must have been doing things off the cuff like this. Sometimes work it, sometimes doesn't it, sometimes crashes and burns. I think it was a partial success this time. But anyway, I think I'm going to end there and hopefully not have this be an hour long. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, maybe learned something, maybe got the whole brain matter flowing and everything like that, maybe had some new thoughts and new ideas. As always, I appreciate comments and likes and things, and again, hopefully, maybe we might get to see each other on the 16th or the 29th. Most likely not unless you live on Long Island, but still, on the off chance that happens, hope to see you there. And I hope that maybe you'll go see this movie as well, because you know what, if, I think that we should be behind, DHX and the people who make the show, because, we should give them a chance. Again, after watching My Little Pony, being all for love and tolerance and everything, that we should give this movie a chance, and we shouldn't, bat an eye at it. I mean, honestly, this was the trailer they should have released the first time. I must admit, one thing I'll add about this is that, it reminds me a little bit of Avatar. I remember hearing about, I didn't really, anyway, Avatar, when they first released in trailers, and it's very, action-oriented things with, the big mech suits and fighting and stuff, and nobody cared about it. But then they released one trailer that was about the storyline, and now all of a sudden, everybody loved it! Everybody thought it was awesome and it was going to be cool. And I think that's probably what will happen here. It's certainly reinforced. I mean, I had a very positive opinion after this, after watching it, after getting over my initial reaction. I'm like, it's true. So actually looking at it and seeing that, this might actually be good. And now I'm definitely confirmed. I'm confirmed that this is going to be a good story. It's going to be enjoyable, and it's going to be fun, and it's just going to be good. I'm sure it is. I'm very positive it is. And even if it isn't, I still think it's going to be worth seeing. I mean, even just to see how they're going to get out of this jam, there's definitely a lot of new things that have been introduced here, like this evil nemesis person. Who is she? And what's going to happen to her if they do capture her and put her back to question? Are they going to capture her? She could stay in Equestria forever. She could stay in that parallel universe forever. I have a feeling this is her main motivation, that she just simply wants to get out of here and goes back to Equestria. Oh dear. I think I'm going to stop now, because I think I've said everything I want to say. And if I haven't, I'll make another video on this, because I don't want this to be an hour long. It takes forever to render. Every second and every minute it's going by is probably, But anyway, so enough. I think I've said everything I want to say. And, so anyway, this is Blue Star. Stay strong and pony on. Blue Star out.